everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Meffan. I am a yoga teacher and hopefully your yoga teacher for the day if you choose to continue today's flow with me. So firstly, and really importantly, I would love for you guys all to subscribe. I bring you weekly yoga flows every single Sunday with challenges throughout the year and also lots of other juicy goodness in the form of YouTube content. Also, if you could spread the word as well. These videos are my way of, I guess, giving back. So there's so many people out there that maybe can't make it to a class, maybe can't afford to have classes, haven't got time, numerous different reasons, maybe don't have the confidence to go to a yoga class. So I create these videos for the yoga community as my way of kind of giving something back and giving you guys a little bit of something nice for free. So if you want to share that with people, I would be very honored, because this is all about just kind of sharing the love of yoga and everything that we can learn through this beautiful practice. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling on for one video. We're going to get started today. We're going to be doing a 1-hour vinyasa flow. So as always, just listen to your body, only do what feels good for you. If you are a complete beginner and you have never done yoga before, I would recommend trying out a couple of my other videos, the more kind of chilled out restorative flows, just to get used to A, my teaching vibe, and B, just yoga in general. Those of you that are kind of have done a few practices before, just kind of go easy. I'm going to give you guys lots of modifications for maybe more beginners, and then those of you that are slightly deeper in your practice, I will be giving you some variations as well. So hopefully making everybody happy for the next hour. So of course as well, take child's pose when needed, take a breather, just listen to your body and be kind to your body. That's all I can ask of you. So come to find a comfortable seat, either cross-legged or kneeling. Wherever you are, we're going to place. Gonna get those words right. We are going to place our hands face down on the knees. We're gonna sit tall, grow tall through the crown of the head. Feel like the spine is kind of elongating, kind of growing bit by bit, and settle into the breath. So just softly coming into the very present moment. So something that yoga is all about is being present, being mindful. Knowing that right now you are exactly where you need to be. And then maybe setting an intention for your practice, something that you would like to offer to your practice today. So maybe it could be the focus on the breath, kindness in the body, maybe just the joy of your practice. So whatever it is, just set that intention and rest upon that intention for a moment. Feeling the breath just naturally move in and out of the body in its own rhythm. And then moving on from that intention and coming to focus on the breath. Starting to slightly deepen the inhales and exhales through the nose. Noticing where the breath is happening within the body. Seeing if you can move that breath a little deeper down into the belly. keeping the eyes closed. Bring the arms around you. You're going to give yourself a big hug. So wrapping the arms around the front of the body, drop the chin down to the chest, keeping the eyes closed. Maybe just swaying gently here as well, moving side to side. Finding a little bit of compassion for yourself, for the person that's inside. And releasing that hug, keep the eyes closed, chin down. We're going to take half neck rolls. So inhale as right ear comes to right shoulder. Exhale down through center. Inhale left ear to left shoulder. Exhale down through center, and work through this a few more times. Coming to find your last head roll now, and then lifting the head up to neutral. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, draw the body tall, and then as you exhale, take a nice deep side stretch. So as you breathe, feeling this right side of the body cracking open, like really kind of like, ugh. You know when you wake up in the morning and you stretch and you feel a few kind of clicks and things like that? Just sort of that feeling of the cracking open. And then you're going to place your hands down to the left. Just walk those hands over and away to the left side. Coming back to center, reaching the arms up. Take hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, draw tall. Exhale, take the side stretch. Again, feel that space being created in the side body. And then placing both hands down to the right side and just walk those hands away. So a similar stretch, just ever so slightly different feeling. And coming back to center. We're then going to take the arms around in front of us, hollow out through the middle, round through the spine, drop the chin down to the chest, push those hands away. And sort of inhale, start to bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, take the hands down to the sacrum, draw the elbows together as you lift through the chest, shine the heart high, smile. Notice what that feeling, that smiling does to you. Maybe there's a resistance there. Maybe you're not quite feeling the smiling today. Maybe you really are and you hadn't realized how good it would feel. Just being aware. And release. Okay, coming off the block, round onto all fours. From here, working through our cow and cat, inhaling, lifting the chest, shine the heart upwards. Exhaling, round the spine. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, find that lift. Exhale, round. And then come back to neutral. Just going to fire up that core. So send the right leg away, left arm goes out. So having to work here on holding the body nice and steady I like to always fire up the core before any of my practices, because it really helps us then know where that core is and where we need to focus when it comes to balancing. And release. Take right arm out, left leg goes out. And release. Just walk those knees away, coming down to our melting heart or extended puppy pose. Opening out through the shoulders. And then tucking under the toes, pulling the hands all the way back, and then just pushing up onto the feet. Just step those feet out to the sides of the mat, coming down from Malasana, our yogic squat. Hands come to heart center. Grow tall. Use the elbows on the knees to kind of push open. Find a little bit more space within the body. Maybe finding a bit of movement here. And placing fingertips down, starting to lift the bottom, just heel toe those feet to about hip width apart. Let the head hang heavy, keep a nice deep bend in the knees. And then interlace the hands, place the interlaced hands behind the head and start to just tiny bit of gentle pressure as we roll the head in and start to lift the whole way up. So you should feel this stretch all the way down the back body. It might feel a little bit weird. It's not part that we stretch that often as you come all the way up to standing. Head comes last and release. You're going to take the hands down, walk the hands all the way forwards to a high plank. Holding here, high plank. Wave the bottom high up to a downward facing dog. So our first downward facing dog of the practice, taking a moment to pedal out through the feet, just a few moments for yourself. Finding what works for you in your body, maybe a shake and a nod of the head. Releasing tension through the neck. Bringing your mind to our foundations, so hands and feet, how are they connected to the mat? And then slowly starting to walk the feet towards the hands. Taking a bend in the knees, inhale, come up to fingertips. Exhale, take the hands to the hips. And then inhale as you lift the chest all the way up. Heel toe the feet together. We're going to work through our sun A's and sun B's. So just picking up the toes to begin with, we're really going to ground down. You're going to see if you can put each toe down one by one. If you're new to this, it can feel a bit weird and you feel your fingers doing it too. Let's try one more time. Inhale, peel those toes up. And then exhale, placing them back down. Hands are beside you. Chest, head's lifted, drawing up through the lower belly, through our bandhas. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And we'll get started. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Inhale, lift the chest, create space, option of hands to shins. Exhale, place the hands. We'll all modify together for the first one. Step it back to high plank, lowering down to the knees, keeping the elbows tucked. We lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, let's go baby cobra. Taking an extra breath here in baby cobra. And then we'll exhale, tuck under the toes, push through the hands, push up through the bottom, lifting to our downward facing dog. So just focusing on connecting with that Ujjayi breath. If you work with that in your practice, if you are unsure of the Ujjayi breathing, just deep inhales and exhales through the nose. So that modified sun salutation, if you're newer to the practice, that's how you'll modify throughout your practice today. Those of you slightly deeper into your practice can work through chaturanga and any other handstands inversions that you might want to as you work through your vinyasas. On your next inhale, lift up through the toes. Exhale, bend at the knees. Inhale, step forwards. Lift the chest, find space. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands down through heart center, smile. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find lift and length. Exhale, place the hands, either step or jump the feet back, either lowering down to the knees or down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, tuck under the toes, downward facing dog. So really pushing out through the shoulders here. You want to find a little bit of space in the neck. So we're not fully hunching into the neck. There's a bit of space, but we're strong in the shoulders. So your head can move freely, but you're really pushing through the shoulders. You almost want to feel like they're kind of coming round. If that makes any sense at all, without me having a human to show you. Okay, breathing here. Knowing that a bend in the knees in downward facing dog, if that feels right for you, that's a great place to be. On an inhale, come up to the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, jump or step the feet forwards. Lift the chest, find space. Exhale, folding down over both legs. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, find lift and length. Exhale, step or jump the feet back, lowering down either through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. So you really want to try and get these little bones here going up to the sky. And as you do that, you might notice that the ribs have the tendency to flare. So as you kind of rotate the sit bones up, you then want to kind of soften the ribs slightly. Lots to think about in this posture. Now on your next inhale, coming up to the toes, exhale, bend at the knees. Inhale, float the feet forwards. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, folding down over both legs. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands down through heart center and smile. Preparing for our Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, take a hinge at the hips. Finding Utkatasana, we'll stay here. Holding. Just really settle into the posture. I know it's a horrible one. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, find lift, create space. Exhale, step or jump the feet back, working down through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, right foot. Warrior one, but we're going to do a high lunge version with the back heel up. Arms reach high. On your exhale, frame the foot. Step all the way back, lowering down through the knees or through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, left side. Come to find that high lunge again. Or our modified warrior one, taking an extra breath. And exhale, frame the foot. Work back, work down through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. So settling into the practice. Sometimes in our first Surya Namaskar B, there's a tendency to lose sight of that breath, that connection. So just refinding that in your downward facing dog. On an inhale, coming up to the toes. Exhale, bend at the knees. Inhale, step or float the feet to the hands, lift the chest, find space. Exhale, folding down over both legs. Inhale, coming up for Utkatasana, and we'll exhale, take it straight back down. Inhale, find lift and space. Exhale, step or jump the feet back, lowering down to the knees or lowering down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, right side again, warrior one, modified. Exhale, frame the foot, step back, work it down through your chaturanga or through the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, left side, reaching the arms high. Exhale, place the hands down, work back down through your vinyasa, meeting back in our downward facing dog. Beautiful. And from here, you're going to take the right leg up, keeping the hips square. So this isn't about how high the leg can go. You want to really feel like those hips are nice and square. Place right foot back down, sweep left foot up. Again, squaring the hips. And release. On your next inhale, come up to the toes. Exhale, take a bend in the knees. Inhale, either step or float your way forwards, lifting the chest, create space. Exhale, folding over both legs. Inhale, find Utkatasana. Exhale, straight back down. Inhale, find lift and length. Exhale, step or jump back, work down through the knees or down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, right foot, come to find warrior one modification. Exhale, frame the foot, step back, lowering down through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, left side, come to find warrior one modified. Exhale, frame the foot, step it all the way back, working down to the knees or down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Holding here. Those of you that wanting to add a little bit more of a challenge to this downward facing dog, go for a turbo dog. So we bend the elbows and really try and draw those elbows in together, but don't lose sight of the rest of the body. So if by doing that, the rest of your form goes totally off, then just stick with a downward facing dog. If you can keep everything else the same and work on the strength here in the arms, then by all means go for it. Straightening those arms. On the next inhale, coming up to the toes, exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, step or jump the feet forwards, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, folding down over both legs. Then we inhale, sweep the arms up, find Utkatasana, smile and hold. Breathing here. Maybe starting to feel it wobble and burn a little bit. And release, bring the knees straight, stand tall. Take the hands down by the side, close off the eyes, grow tall through the crown of the head. So really feel rooted and grounded to the earth. Standing tall, settling into that breath. Fluttering open the eyes. Bringing the hands to heart center. Actually, no, we will take hold of opposite elbows. Taking the arms up by the ears above the head. So seeing how far you can get those shoulders to open without kind of flaring the ribs and going into a back bend. We just want to find lift. And then we're going to take the right leg off. So we're staying nice and lifted and point the right toes. So the leg doesn't need to be super high right now. We're just working on our balance. Find a gazing point in front of you, so your drishti. Find that point to gaze upon. Fix your point there. And then release the hands from here to heart center. As you start to lower down with the chest, the back leg comes up, coming to find warrior three. Holding here. If you have a block by your side, then you might want to use that for our next posture. I'm going to drop the left hand down, fingertips come down or hand comes down to a block. Hips open up, so hips open outwards. Right arm lifts up to the ceiling, to the sky. And if you can, you could take your gaze up to that hand. If not, no worries. Back leg is up. We're in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Option of just staying here or taking it a step further, bending in that right leg, seeing if you could take hold of the right hand on the right foot and open out a little bit further. And then slowly release both hands down. Right leg stays up, but we lower the leg, straighten the leg, come to a squared off position in the hips. So if you need to be doing this with a bent leg in the left, that's absolutely fine. And then from here, you're going to move your block, if you need to, over to the right side, and we're going to see if we can take that left hand up for our revolved half moon. So a little bit trickier, leg's going to be much lower. Holding here, and then if you can, seeing if you can bend in that right leg and take hold of it with the left hand. So really tricky and feels really odd. Feels like you can't get much opening here, just give it a go. And release. Hands down, take a big step back with the right leg, lifting up the arms, windmill the arms open, finding our warrior two. So really coming deep now into our warrior two. Feeling like this left leg is pushing out to the left side, engaging our left glute. We want to have our front heel roughly in line with the heel or the foot arch of the back foot. Come a little bit deeper. And smile. On an inhale, start to straighten that left leg. Inhale, reaching forward, 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 forward. And then coming to find Trikonasana on the left side. So right arm is reaching upwards. Obviously, if you are a little bit higher, that's fine. Just place the hand on the shin, or if you've got a block, and that feels good for you. But you want to feel like your body's in this kind of like you're between two walls. So if you're like this, then I would come higher and find your Trikonasana up here. If you want to take the two peace fingers around the big toe, and that's how you like to practice, by all means do. Staying with the breath. Exhale, gazing down. Inhale, coming all the way up. And then we're going to come back into our warrior two. So bending that front leg. Left elbow comes to the left knee, and we sweep the right arm all the way over. So finding that stretch all the way from the outside of the right foot, all the way up to the fingertips in the right hand. And this arm rotates inwards. So we find this space here, and we get space between the neck and the ear. And gazing down, exhale, frame the foot, step all the way back, either lowering down to the knees or down through Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths in downward facing dog. Maybe taking a few breaths in child's pose if you need them. So again, always options, child's pose, downward facing dog, or you are going to draw the elbows in and down, and they're going to come down to dolphin. And from our dolphin, we're just going to walk the feet in as far as they will go, really pushing through those forearms, through the shoulders. Bottom lifts high. Walk the feet back out to a reasonable distance and then push through the arms, coming back to our downward facing dog. On your next inhale, either step or jump the feet to the hands. Find lift, find lengthening the chest. Exhale, take the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the body all the way up to standing. So this time we are crossing over, taking hold of opposite elbows again, reaching those arms high up above the head, seeing if you can get the shoulders, the armpits as open as possible, but without flaring and collapsing into the spine and the ribs. Left foot's going to go back out, point through the toes, grow as tall as you can. So the foot doesn't need to be very high off the mat. You want to have the hips facing forwards. Finding that lift in Uddiyana Bandha, in the lower tummy. Find your gazing point, fix your gaze, your drishti. And then bringing the hands to heart center. And as you start to lower down through the chest, the back leg comes up. You come to find your Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3, hips are square. Again, if you need a block for Ardha Chandrasana, just bringing your block by the side of you. Okay, placing that right hand down now. We open the hips out to the side. Left arm reaches up. And if you can, taking your gaze all the way up to the ceiling. So you can either be down on your fingertips in the right hand or having a block to stabilize you. And either staying here or bending in that left foot and seeing if you can take hold of the left foot with the left hand and opening out a little bit deeper, using the pressure of the foot on the hand to find a little deeper split here, a bit more of an opening through the chest. And then slowly release. Take both hands down to the mat. The left leg is out, square off the hips. Like I said before, if you need to bend the right leg, that is absolutely fine. Nicely squared off hips here. And then we're going to set up for our revolved half moon. So left hand or fingertips are on the block or on the mat. You're going to reach the right hand all the way up to the ceiling, up to the sky. See if you can squeeze a little smile in there. So staying here, or then finding that kind of tricky, ugly feeling version whereby we take the right hand to the left foot and see if we can, oh, apparently I can't, find a little bit of length, a little bit of openness here. It's a bit of a weird one. But important for us to work on having squared hips as well as open hips. Okay, releasing both hands down, taking a super, super big step back with the left foot, windmilling, open the arms, coming to find Warrior 2 on the right side. So your right leg and bum is probably burning enough already without me adding in this, but we breathe, we push on, coming a little bit deeper. Bringing that right knee, pushing it outwards towards the right, engaging the glutes. On inhale, start to straighten that left leg. Exhale. And then on your next inhale, reach forward, forward, forward as far as you can. And then you place the right hand down wherever you want it to be. And then lifting the head, gaze up to the hand. Like I said before, finding a block here or taking the hand to the shin, whichever modification or variation is best for where you're at in your practice at the moment. Okay, on an inhale, bringing the body all the way up, and then coming back to find that warrior two, gazing towards the right hand, middle finger, and then we'll bend the elbow, take the right elbow onto the right knee, sweeping the left arm all the way up and over, so finding this length from the back foot all the way up to the fingertips of the left hand. Trying not to put too much weight into this leg, so we don't want to feel like we're just kind of hanging out here. We want to still be lifted, doing a lot of the work in the torso, in the obliques. Exhale, gazing down, frame the foot, step it all the way back and work down through your vinyasa, either modifying or coming down through chaturanga, inhaling upward facing dog or cobra, exhaling downward facing dog. And just taking a little breather here in downward facing dog, as we did before, taking child's pose if that's where you're at right now. Or if you'd like to, drawing the elbows down and together, super strong, coming down to dolphin. I'm going to start to walk the feet in. So, if you are very competent at Pincha Mayurasana, then you can lift up to Pincha Mayurasana. If you are in a position where you are kicking up, I would like you to stay here in dolphin. So really working on the strength of the posture. And if that's you, you could pick up one leg, take it down, take up the other leg, take it down, alternate a couple more times. So like I say, if you are very competent in your Pincha Mayurasana, by all means, go for it. The rest of us, we're going to work on our strengthening here. And if child's pose is for you, go ahead and take that. When you're ready, pressing through the hands, coming back to find downward facing dog. When you're ready, on your next inhale, we're going to jump the feet through to seated. You can step the feet through to seated if you wish. If you want to have a little play around, we're going to come up to the toes, exhale, and then inhale as we jump and swing those legs through. It takes a little bit of time to get with that and to not have the fear that you're going to get stuck, but you get there in the end, I promise. Right, legs are out long in front. So we're going to come to Dandasana. So hands are down by the side of you. Chin drops softly down towards the chest. So we're not squeezing it down there, it's just a gesture of where it's heading. Pressing down through the hands, lift through the chest. Legs are engaged, feet are flexed. And this is one of those postures that engages all three bandhas. So Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jalandhara Bandha. And when we use all three together, it's Maha Bandha. So this is one of those postures that works through that. So we're just going to stay here and see what that feels like in this position. And then inhale, take the arms all the way up. If you need a block to sit on for your forward folds, by all means grab a block. If you work with a strap is really great here as well. So working on keeping that spine nice and long. Finding a little bit lift on the inhale and then more lengthening on the exhale. On an inhale, coming all the way up to seated. And you're going to take the hands, so this might be a little bit tricky. So this is a bit of core work, something that I find quite hard. So you're going to take the hands to around about where the knees are. Okay, maybe a little bit further back. And then one leg at a time, you're going to lift the leg. And take it down. So this is working on our core, but also our hip flexors and the quads. Left leg. And down. Right leg. And down. Try and stay as lifted as you can in the spine. And down. Right leg. And down. Left leg. And down. Then you're going to see if you can lift up both together. Breathing. And down. Nice. Coming to a little baby boat pose, Navasana, just before we work through our vinyasa. And crossing right over left, swing yourself through, hop back, then lowering down either to the knees or down through Chaturanga. Inhaling upward facing dog or cobra, exhaling downward facing dog. That's probably the messiest vinyasa I've ever done in my life. And then when you're ready, you're going to jump or step your feet all the way through to seated. Legs are out long. We're going to come into Janu Shirshasana. So the sole of the right foot is going to come in against the inside of the left thigh. You're going to inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Take a tiny pivot of the kind of chest and the hips towards that left leg, and then find the forward fold. Again, if you work with a strap or you need to sit on a block, by all means do. Maybe closing off the eyes, taking that gaze inwards. On an inhale, lifting the chest all the way up. We're going to move this right foot outwards a little bit, so we're opening through the hips. The right hand's going to come just behind that right bum cheek, and we're going to inhale, sweep the left arm all the way up, lifting the hips and the heart all the way to the sky. And then exhaling, coming down, and as you come down, we're going to then push through the hands, come to find our Skandasana on the right side. So we push through the hands, we found ourselves here. Sometimes it might be slightly ungraceful to begin with. Hands come to heart center, lift through the chest. And then we've got our right leg up. So we're going to then take the hands, go around to the back of the mat now. So your hands will be around to the back of the mat. You're going to pivot the legs round and then drop the right knee down to the right wrist. And you're in pigeon. Da, da, da. Okay, so if you need a block to place underneath the bottom, by all means, use your block, use your props. Okay, so find your pigeon. So sit tall to begin with. And then we're going to walk those hands forwards and just rest the head down. Couple more breaths here. On an inhale, start to lift the chest. And then we're going to just roll over onto that right side and swing the left leg around. So both legs are now out long, but you're probably not facing me and you're like, what's she doing? So you're facing the other side, both legs are out straight. We're going to come to Janu Shirshasana on the left side. So sole of the left foot is on the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, find that length, take that slight pivot towards the right foot, and then find the forward fold. Again, maybe closing off the eyes here. Do as I say, not as I do in this position. I can't quite do something because of my knee, so just don't copy what I'm doing. Just stay with the foot to the inside of the right thigh. On an inhale, start to lift all the way up. We're gonna open out those hips again like we did on the other side. Place the left hand about a hand's distance away from the left butt cheek. Inhale, sweep that right arm up, chest and hips lift up to the sky. Feel free to smile here. Such a nice expressive posture. And as you release back down, you're going to place those hands in front of you again. Push through the hands, step that left foot and come to find your Skandasana on the left side. Hands come to heart center, lifting through the chest. So getting a nice lower body stretch. And then bringing those hands all the way around to the left side. So now you're back at the front of the mat. Okay, you're going to bring the left knee down towards the left wrist, coming to find our pigeon on the left side. So again, find your variation. So pop the block underneath the left bottom, find a little bit of lift. Maybe your foot's further down here. Everyone's a little bit different. So inhale, find the length. Exhale, start to walk the hands forwards and just let the head rest down. Maybe closing off the eyes here. Again, finding that inwards gaze. Couple more breaths. On an inhale, start to lift all the way up. And you're going to swing that right leg around, come to find Navasana. So we're up in our boat pose. Any variation, so you could have the feet down if that works a bit better for you. Feet up, arms out. And then in a moment, working through our final vinyasa, making it the most graceful one yet. So let's cross left over right, find the momentum. So push off kind of like the bottom, use the core to find your momentum, pick up the bottom, hop the feet through, lower down to the knees or through chaturanga, inhaling upward facing dog or cobra, exhaling downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, you're going to step or jump those feet through to seated. You're going to bring the feet to about hip width apart. Take the arms out long, coming into our finishing sequence. Slowly, slowly working the body all the way down to the mat. Smiling as we go. Try not to get there before me. See if you can match my pace. Maybe feeling the core starting to work. Keep smiling. And release all the way down to the mat. Just take the knees side to side, little window wipe of those legs. And then we're going to come to our shoulder stand and halasana, plow pose and kanapindasana. So if this is not for you today and you would rather take a restorative finish, grab yourself a block, pop your block flat down on your bottom, legs up in the air, palms of the hands facing upwards, close off the eyes and just enjoy a good 10 minutes there. The rest of us, we are gonna work through shoulder stand. So taking the legs high, lift the bottom, catch the back. So whatever you do, do not look at your computer screen, just keep the gaze towards the feet. So super important when we're in these positions where the neck is compressed, we do not want to be moving the head side to side. So just trust yourself, trust your body. You don't need to be looking at me right now. Maybe even close off the eyes or just watch the belly rise and fall with each breath. I'm going to find a little bit of silence here. I'm going to count for 15 breaths to yourself. Okay, when you're ready and you've done your 15 breaths, you're going to either bring the knees down towards the forehead and stay there, or you're going to take the feet all the way back over the head. Come to find Halasana plow pose. We interlace the hands and take the hands down onto the mat, and it's the tops of the feet that are down on the floor. Again, closing off the eyes here. If this is too intense for you, just take the knees to the forehead, or maybe come out and just take that restorative position. There's always an option, just work with how everything feels within your body. Okay, and then when you've done your Halasana plow pose, if you'd like to come to Kanapindasana, so we bend the knees down, the knees come almost down, down onto the mat. Oh, I can't talk into my microphone like this, but if you're in Kanapindasana, arms stay the same, knees are down, and we add a little bit of pressure onto the ear, so it's called ear pressure pose. But I'm not going to do that because it's going to squash my microphone and you then won't be able to hear me. And then from there, taking your final breaths and slowly, hands, palms down onto the mat. Slowly roll the spine, bone by bone, back down to the mat. Legs reach all the way out. And as the legs come down, point the toes and push through the elbows and the forearms. We come to Matsyasana fish pose. So you can see here we're opening through the throat. So we're counterposing what we just did in our shoulder stand little sequence there. Chest lifts high. And then slowly coming out of your Matsyasana fish pose, just bring the knees in, take the knees side to side, that little window wipe. And we're just going to finish off with a little spinal twist. So bring the arms out to a T shape, or if you haven't got space, cactus is fine. Draw the knees into the chest. And you're going to drop the knees over to the left side. The head goes over to the right. If you want to intensify the stretch, you can take the lower leg and place the foot on the top knee. Close off the eyes. So feel the side body, maybe remembering what it felt like at the start of our practice. And we are doing those side openings, and then feel the change in the body now. Hopefully feeling a bit more open, a bit more energized. On an inhale, coming all the way back through center, and we'll take the knees over to the right, head goes over to the left. And again, if you're wanting to intensify the stretch, take that bottom foot and place it on top of the top knee. Again, closing off the eyes. Releasing, coming back through center, just hugging those knees in, taking any final movements that you may wish to take before we come down to our final relaxation. Maybe sneaking in a little happy baby. And when you're ready, releasing the legs all the way down to Shavasana, or you keep the knees bent up as long as you bring the feet to the outside of the mat and let the knees drop together. It's a nice way to release any tension in the lower spine. Let the hands come out to the sides, palms facing upwards, close off the eyes. So we're going to take a nice long relaxation here. Really important part of our practice. It's our body's time to reflect and grow from the practice. Let the breath soften into the body. Take a moment to ask yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel? On two levels. How do I feel physically? How do I feel emotionally? And then let it go. Let it go. Just be present within the body. Bringing the mind back to the physical body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes, circling the ankles and the wrists. And when you're ready in your own time, rolling over to one side, whichever side feels good for you. And from there, just pausing a moment. And when you're ready, keeping the eyes closed, come to find a comfortable seated position. Bringing the hands to heart center, to our Namaste Mudra. Grow tall, find the breath. Knowing that through yoga and our practice on a mat, it opens us up for many, many other paths that yoga can provide for us. That sense of being present, of offering and receiving love, being kind and passionate. All of these things that yoga can teach us. Bow the head. Namaste. Thank you all so much for flowing with me today. I hope that you enjoyed that nice long flow. So it's really, really nice for me to be able to provide you with these classes. So please do share it, please do subscribe, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.